Okay, Chuck, I'm going to try to explain this to you. This wire right here is coming in from outside, and this wire right here is coming in from outside. Both of them have 220 in each one. These two wires, they're just going as switches to the lights over there. So we don't need to think about them right now. These two wires, they go inside the box. Now, one of them hooks to the top of this 75 amp right there. That red and black wire coming in is coming from here. Okay? It just comes right in and hooks right to the top of this 75 amp. And then if you look down at the bottom, there's wires coming out. Those wires, they come around and they come all the way over here to this breaker and that breaker. Okay? So from this 75 amp, we've got wires running from the bottom all the way around to these two right here. Plus, from this 75 amp, we've got wires running from the bottom. You see there's several wires at the bottom of that 75 amp. They are tied together. There's more than one. They're also running right here to these 220 amp breakers right here. So this 75 amp main is feeding these first two 20 amp breakers, and then skip over and it's feeding these last two 20 amp breakers right here. So the power for those four 20 amp breakers is coming from this 75 amp main. Now, the other wire, this one back here in the back, it's also coming in the same hole, and it's coming down and it's feeding right into these two 20 amp breakers right here. All right, it's coming right in the top of the breakers. All right, and then you see those two black jumper wires right there? They're jumping over to this 30 amp breaker right here. So the power for the 30 amp and these two 20 amps is coming from that 220 wire in the back. So you've got this 75 amp main feeding the first two 20 amps and the last two 20 amps right there. And then you've got another 220 wire coming in right here on this one, right here, right there. You got the 220 wire coming in on that one, and then you got two jumper wires over here to this 30 amp. Okay, so the electricity from here does not bolt to the plate back there in the back. That plate is not hot. It's just something to hold the things there. And let me show you why. This breaker, I've already pulled it out right here, okay? Alright, I've already pulled it out. And you can see there's a hot wire going in the top of it, and then it comes down here and it feeds stuff right here. It's really just like a switch on the wall. There's no hot feed coming in the back of that thing from the plate. Right now it's off, okay? And then you see the red wire. This is the hot wire coming out of it right here. And it goes down through this hole, and it feeds this receptacle right here. Alright, so when it's off, right now I got it on the off position. You see that it's off, then I should not be able to run this drill. Okay, I'm going to squeeze it. There's no energy. There's no fire. Okay, but if I reach up here, that same switch, even though it's not connected to the back plate, it's just, even though it's not connected to the back plate, you know, it's loose. It's away from the back plate. All right, but I got it on. All right, and that red wire that's coming out of it is hot because I just turned it on. And it's running right down here to this receptacle, which has my drill plugged into it. And as you can see, now I got fire. So that thing is hot. This thing is hot even though it is not even plugged in to the back. And every single one of these breakers is the same way. All the fire comes into the top of the breaker. And here's a little, let me fix that. You wanted to know something about what was on the side, but it's all in Chinese. And so this is all Chinese brand. It's not Square D or General Electric like that. I don't even know if they have this kind in America. So that 75 amp works as your main, and then you've only got these two 20 amps, these two 20 amps, and then the 20 amp and the 30 amp. Now, these two 20 amps hooked together, I guess that would work as a 40 amp breaker, and these two 30 amps, I'm guessing, would work as a 60 amp. I don't know exactly if they're hooked together like that. I don't know how that works. But I'm guessing it's going to take 60 amps or more to flip this thing, and I'm guessing it's going to take 40 amps or more to flip this thing. Now, if you look at the bottom, all these screws, all these brass screws, there were wires there, okay? Let me take you over here. You see the wires running out the top. There were wires. You look over there in that box over there, you'll see all the wires that I've taken off. I've taken out from the ceiling. These are all wires that were connected to that box. They were connected to the bottom of these things. Right here. They were connected to the bottom. Now I've taken them out because they really wasn't running anything, or else they were running something that I didn't need. So I just went ahead and disconnected them and pulled the wires out. Now over here, these last two breakers, they're running the lights in the sanctuary, and they're running all the wall switches. So I would like to just do is to move that box over here to the east wall. Right over here, there's a closet. Inside this closet, there's a space that we can put that box. I would like to put that box right here on the back side of this wall right here, and we can just run it right up there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a crack between the wall and the concrete, and that goes up into the roof, and we can run the wires right through that crack, so we wouldn't have any trouble. So basically, we'd want to move the box from over there over here to this closet right here. Now the two hot wires that are feeding this box, you can see them coming down from the ceiling. So those two big gray wires look like 8-2 or 6-2 wires. Those two big gray ones, not the white and black one, but these two big gray ones right here. They run into the ceiling, and they're coming from right over there, coming from outside. But we would run the wires in the ceiling all the way down here and into that closet to the electric box, which will be on the other side of this wooden wall. Okay, now I'm facing the south wall again, and I'm going to turn my back toward the east, and I'm going to back up, and I'm going to get back here. I'm going to get back here against this east wall, where we're going to have the amp box right here on the other side of that wall right there. You can turn back around here. I'm going to put my back right against this wall right here. All right, now, standing right here, this is going to be the stage. The stage will be over there. So we'll be preaching from over there, and we'll be speaking, we'll be singing, everything will be over there. So on that back wall, the west wall over there, we want to have enough power to run electric everything for the instruments on that back wall. The band will be back there.